So if you work with children, you've got a really important job. But you might also have another title, one you didn't even know you had, mandated reporter. And, this isn't just a suggestion. It's a legal and moral responsibility. Today, we're going to break down exactly what it means to be a guardian of safety for the kids in your care.
Okay, let's just start with the single biggest thing that stops people from making that call. This quote says it all. You are not a detective. It is not your job to prove anything. Your job is simply to report what's called a reasonable suspicion. That's it. Understanding this one idea is what gives you the power to act and to be a voice for a child who might not have one.
So, what does this role really mean in practice? Well, it all starts with understanding your duty, both legally and, morally.
Right. So what exactly is a mandated reporter? It's pretty simple, actually. If you're a professional who works with kids, like a child care worker, the law says you are one. This means reporting any suspicion of child abuse or neglect isn't a choice you get to make. It's a legal requirement.
Now, the law does two things here. First, it protects you. It's like a shield. As long as you make a report in good faith, you're protected. But it's also a duty. Failing to report isn't just a misstep. It's actually a crime, and it's definitely grounds to be fired. And this part is crucial. This responsibility is yours and yours alone. You can't ask your boss or a coworker to make the call for you. It has to be you.
This is a point where people get tripped up all the time, so let's be super clear. Yes, you probably have to tell your director, that's a workplace rule. But, and this is a big but, telling your director does not get you off the hook legally. The only way to fulfill your legal duty is to report your suspicion directly to Child Protective Services, or CPS.
And here it is. This is the number that makes it happen. This is the Michigan CPS hotline, and it's open 24/7. There's always someone there to take your report. Seriously, put this number in your phone. It's the most important tool you have.
Okay, so you know you have to report, but what are you even looking for? Let's get into what the signs of abuse and neglect can actually look like.
For physical abuse, you're really looking for patterns that just don't add up. Unexplained bruises, burns. Maybe a child has several injuries that all seem to be at different stages of healing. And watch their behavior too. A child who is terrified of being touched or flinches a lot can be a big red flag.
Neglect can be a little harder to spot because it's often about what's missing. Is a child constantly hungry, maybe even hiding food for later? Do they have consistently poor hygiene? Are they showing up in shorts when it's freezing outside? These patterns, where basic needs just aren't being met, are really serious signs.
Now, recognizing signs of sexual abuse means being very clear-eyed. A major indicator can be a child who knows things or behaves in a sexual way that's way beyond their years. You might also see physical signs, like they're having trouble walking or sitting, or maybe they suddenly become terrified of a specific person.
Emotional abuse is tough because the scars are invisible, right? But the signs absolutely show up in a child's behavior. Look for big swings, like a child who was once super outgoing suddenly becomes quiet and withdrawn. A really deep fear of making even a tiny mistake. That can also be a huge sign that something is emotionally wrong.
So, you have a reasonable suspicion. Something just feels wrong. What do you do next? Let's walk through the exact steps you need to take.
The process is really straightforward, and you have to follow it in this order. Step 1 is the absolute most important. Do not, under any circumstances, investigate on your own. You're not trying to get a confession. Asking a lot of questions can actually mess up the official investigation. Your job is just to observe and report. Then, step 2, you call the CPS hotline. And only after you've made that call do you move on to step 3, which is notifying your director.
This is so unbelievably important that it gets its own slide. For the safety of that child, you must not alert the person you suspect. Confronting them could put the child in even more danger, and it will definitely interfere with the investigation. Just don't do it.
So we've covered what to do right away, but your responsibility doesn't totally end when you hang up the phone. Now we need to talk about the crucial follow-up, documentation, and confidentiality. Think of it as your shield of protocol. The clock is ticking on this. The very same day you notice something, you need to make that verbal report to CPS, and then you need to write down your own objective notes. After that, you've got 72 hours to get a formal written report submitted. And through all of this, from beginning to end, confidentiality is everything.
So what exactly do you put in that report? Facts, and only facts. Dates,
times, and just objective descriptions of what you saw and what you heard. And this is so key. Write down the child's exact words. Don't try to interpret what they mean. So instead of writing, "The child seems sad," you write, "The child said, 'My tummy hurts when he yells.'" See the difference? It's vital.
Okay, so we've gone through the what, the why, and the how. Look, being a mandated reporter is a heavy responsibility. There's no doubt about it. But it's also an incredible power. It's all built on your observation, your courage, and taking clear action. And when you boil it all down, it comes to this. A single report, a single phone call, can be the lifeline that completely changes a child's life for the better. The real question is, are you ready to be that voice?